There you go. Hey y'all, I'm Delana from the Healing Homestead. I'm out here doing chores again today. I just fed the dogs. And back there I've got the goats in the catch pen. I gave them just a little bit of sweet feed. I'm doing their natural dewormer today. I want to hit them with the heavier dewormer before we get real into breeding season. Since the buck just got here, it's not usually safe to deworm them, especially with the natural dewormer. There's just not enough studies done on it. I'm going to hit them right now with it for the next 3 days, and then we'll start them back on that weekly formula. I will use chemical again to intervene if we need to. Hopefully we won't. So the natural dewormer has black walnut and wormwood, which can initiate menstruation or thin the lining of the uterus, and so this is definitely not something I want to do while they're pregnant, so I want to give them a good boost before we get started. The parasite load thankfully is way lower now that it's snapped off cold, so I think we will be fine until spring. Yeah, you guys, they like it too. They chow down. Like I've shared in previous videos, we're going to more intensive rotational grazing, but we have dairy goats, and so I milk them, and how I was taught was that you feed them grain while they milk, because that's how they were trained. And goats are notoriously ornery, so we've tried it without grain and it does not work well. So we're trying to switch it. I'm going to grow some of our own vegetables and stuff this next year. They love kale. They love all kinds of vegetables. So I'm hoping if we grow those, cube them up, maybe we could switch to that instead of grain. But for now, I give them grain when they're in milk, just a little bit, which we actually haven't been in milk for a few months now with the move. I dried them off because I thought it would just be too much to handle right now. But I also give it to them when I'm giving them their dewormer. So that we've got a couple bags of sweet feed in there, and that will honestly get them through all winter. Okay, let's look at the field. I need to evaluate whether to go ahead and switch them today or not. Okay, it's definitely getting low. What I'm looking for, I want to see if most of these grass blades have been chewed off. And it looks like to me most of them have. So I think it's probably time to move them, which means I have about 3 days until I need to make another lane for them. For comparison's sake, let's look at this next paddock so we can see what's going on. If you look here, we've got several pieces that are taller, tapered at the ends, so they haven't been bit off, or the majority of it hasn't been bit off. So I think it's probably time to move them. And then we actually have this open area here with a few trees that I'd like to see them clean up. This is much better forage for them. I think they'll be much happier than that. Plus they'll clear up about 6 foot tall underneath each of those trees, so it'll get looking a lot cleaner. So the goal with this next paddock or next lane that I'm creating is to work over on this side. It is brushy and quite hard to get to. I'm going to fence around it. There's a little wet weather creek that runs through right here. So I'm gonna fence off all around it, and then we'll get them to clean this up, and hopefully we're getting a bid on putting a pond in this next spring. I'm not sure if it's gonna happen, if we can afford it. I'm hopeful, really hopeful. If we can, this whole area where I'm standing is going to be pond. It will probably be about 1.5 to 2 acres. It'll be huge. But it honestly would be nice if the goats could just clean it up for us, and then they can come through and clear out what they need to clear out. Goats are awesome for brush clearing. What's awesome about goats is that their manure is not near as hot as cows or chickens, and so it is instantly fertilizing this ground. As it rains, more and more will leach into the ground and get this ground healthier. Like all over here, there's goat droppings, and they've only been in here for 2 or 3 days, but all they do all day long is eat and poop. So this is going to be very fertile come next year, and the year after, and the year after. Okay, I just got done moving these calf huts. They are our movable shelter for the goats right now. The reason I move them every couple of days is because they get full of poop. If you want to know a good reason for rotational grazing, just look at that. That's just after a couple of days. So you can see the spots where the calf huts just were. I just moved them a few feet in front, and so they have fresh, cleaner pasture to lay on. This helps prevent them from getting sick, getting infections. See how much cleaner? I think they like that tree. Goats are definitely browsers. They prefer to eat right at their head level or even above, if they can. Thanks for joining me today. We've got some more things coming this week on the house, and an exciting thing hopefully happening this week, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.